It is a wonderful day here at New Beginnings Family Fellowship. Glad that you've joined us, and those of you who are online that you're with us as well. You know, last week we finished up 2 weeks on the character called kindness. But this week we are shifting back to something called cautiousness. Cautiousness. That's a long word. And the character sketch that we're going to focus on is the common loon. The common loon. I'm going to define cautiousness for our purposes. It is this: realizing that my greatest ability is also the point of my greatest vulnerability. Loons. Loons are large black and white birds which live almost entirely in the water. They are excellent divers, surpassed in speed and agility only by the penguin. The voice of the loon has become a symbol of the northern wilderness of the United States. Well, how is unexpected vulnerability illustrated in the world of nature? The indigent native loon jealously glared at the large flock of migrants as they circled the mountain lake and shattered the mirror-like surface of his private fishery with a less than polite landing. Days had become noticeably shorter, and the night air whispered subtle warnings of an approaching snowfall that would soon adorn all the majestic pines around the lake. A veteran of many migrations himself, he instinctively sensed that the long flight to the warm southern marshlands would require an added reserve of energy. The fish that inhabited the lake were no match for his agility and experience. His webbed feet generated powerful dart-like movements that enabled him to chase down even the slipperiest catch. With his ample supply of food now threatened by the noisy colony of intruders, this solitary bird retreated to another nearby lake. There he found an abundant supply of savory perch and sunfish. As night began to overshadow the forest, the faint calls of the uninvited neighbors echoed through the timbers. Lured by the migratory instincts, he decided to join the large flock. His determined wings beat against the water as he half flew and half ran across the shimmering pond. The tiny lake supplied a limited runway and nearly prevented him from clearing the treetops. Finally, the native birds began the difficult journey southward. However, as he gained altitude, he spotted the small lake where he had feasted the day before. Confidently, he swooped down on the well-stocked pond, ignoring the rim of ice that had reduced the lake's dimensions. He dove under the water and ate fish to his heart's content. After a short while, he decided to rejoin the migrating flock. Once again, he flapped his wings and pushed his feet against the water as he ran down the lake for his takeoff. To his dismay, he discovered that the lake was now smaller than the day before. Ice jutted out from the shore in every direction. He tried again and again to take off without success. The fish that he had just eaten had laid heavily in his stomach. Well, he decided to wait until evening. Perhaps the stronger wind would give him the needed lift to clear the lake. But even with the help of the stronger wind, the large bird was unable to take off from the rapidly shrinking lake. He was helplessly trapped. Soon, the lake froze over, forcing him to go ashore. Ironically, the loon's great ability to dive, swim, and catch fish had produced a lack of cautiousness, which exposed him to the frozen, snow-stepped wilderness. And the long winter would eventually take his life, all because he lacked cautiousness. Well, thank you for listening to the story of our, what I would call the crazy loon right here.